Ambassador Chen smiled warmly as she entered the Galactic Council chamber, her steps measured and graceful. The assembled representatives from 47 species watched her approach the central podium with curiosity. She wore simple diplomatic attire, her hands clasped peacefully before her, projecting an image of harmlessness that had become humanity's greatest weapon. The Vrex delegation shifted nervously in their crystalline seats. They had been the ones to sponsor humanity's entry into the council 3 cycles ago. Believing these soft-skinned mammals would make excellent vassals, that assumption was proving catastrophically wrong. Honored council members, Chen began, her voice gentle and measured. I come bearing unfortunate news. The Krell Dominion has rejected our 14th peace proposal. A ripple of concern passed through the chamber. The Krell were the council's enforcers, a warrior race that had maintained galactic order for millennia through swift and brutal military action. For them to reject human diplomacy was expected. What happened next was not. Therefore, Chen continued, that same pleasant smile never wavering, humanity must respectfully exercise Article 7 of the Council Charter, the right to self-defense. The Thexian ambassador, a gaseous being contained within an environmental suit, pulsed with alarm. Ambassador Chen, surely there are other options. The Krell have 300 warships. Humanity has been spacefaring for barely 50 standard years. Chen's smile widened fractionally. We appreciate your concern, Ambassador Thex. However, we've already resolved the situation. As of 2 hours ago, the Krell Dominion has agreed to all our terms. Silence crashed through the chamber like a physical force. Impossible, hissed the Vrex representative, their scales flushing orange with disbelief. The Krell fleet was in Dominion space, light years from Earth. Even if you attacked, the battle would take— There was no battle, Chen interrupted softly. We simply demonstrated what humans call proportional response. She gestured, and a holographic display materialized above the podium. The assembled diplomats watched in growing horror as the footage played. It showed the pride of the Krell fleet, 300 vessels arrayed in perfect formation, their weapons bristling with the confidence of unchallenged supremacy. Then in the span of 17 seconds, every single ship went dark, not destroyed, disabled. Their power cores shut down, their weapons offline, their life support running on emergency reserves. We hacked them, Chen explained conversationally. Humanity has this peculiar talent, you see. We're very good at finding patterns, exploiting weaknesses, thinking laterally. Your species developed FTL travel 2,000 years before discovering cyber warfare. We had cyber warfare before we left our solar system. The Koleth ambassador, a species known for their tactical brilliance, leaned forward with 6 of its compound eyes. You could have destroyed them. Yes, Chen agreed. Easily. But that wouldn't be diplomatic, would it? That was when the true horror began to dawn on the assembled council. They had been evaluating humanity wrong from the very beginning. The galaxy's spacefaring species had evolved along similar lines. They developed intelligence as prey animals, herbivores who needed complex social structures to survive. Or they evolved as herd creatures finding safety in numbers. Even the Krell, for all their warrior culture, had descended from pack hunters who took down game through coordinated effort. Humanity was different. They were persistence predators, apex predators. They had climbed to the top of their food chain not through venom, claws, or armored hides, but through relentless intelligence, adaptive thinking, and the terrifying ability to out-endure anything that ran from them. And now they were in space. Still hunting, but doing it with smiles and handshakes. We studied your histories, Chen continued, her tone still warm and friendly. Every species in this council. Do you know what we found interesting? None of you have a concept equivalent to playing possum. The idea of feigning weakness or death to survive never occurred to your evolutionary paths. She paused, letting that sink in. Humans invented diplomacy, not because we were weak, but because we discovered it was more efficient than violence. We smile because it costs us nothing and gains us everything. We negotiate because it's less messy than the alternative. But make no mistake. Her smile finally faded, revealing something cold and ancient beneath the diplomatic mask. We remember how to hunt. The Vrex ambassador made a choking sound. Suddenly, 3 years of human behavior snapped into focus with terrible clarity. Every treaty negotiation where humanity had graciously accepted only 70% of what they wanted. Every trade agreement where they'd yielded on minor points. Every cultural exchange where they'd seemed almost naive in their enthusiasm, it had all been camouflage. The same instinct that made ancient humans cover themselves in mud to hide their scent before an ambush. They had been making the galaxy comfortable, learning every weakness, mapping every system, all while appearing harmless. The Krell taught us a valuable lesson, Chen said, her diplomatic smile returning. They showed the Council what happens when someone refuses to engage with humanity peacefully. We wanted you all to see the alternative to negotiation. She looked around the chamber, making eye contact with each delegation. The Krell still have their ships. Their crews are unharmed. Their empire is intact. All they had to do was agree to fair trade terms and a non-aggression pact. Quite reasonable, really. Ambassador Thex pulsed a sickly yellow color. And if they had refused even after your demonstration? Chen's expression remained pleasant, but something predatory flickered in her eyes. Something that had looked out from the shadows of Earth's ancient forests. Calculating, patient, inevitable. Ambassador. Humans have a saying, speak softly and carry a big stick. The Krell saw the stick. They made the wise choice. We genuinely hope all our council friends will always choose diplomacy first. After all, her smile widened. That's what civilized species do. The session adjourned shortly after. As Chen left the chamber, she passed the Vrex delegation. Their sponsor stopped her with a trembling claw. You deceived us, the Vrex whispered. You made us think you were harmless. Chen's expression softened with what might have been genuine sympathy. No, Ambassador. We told you exactly what we were from the beginning. We're humans. We're diplomats. We're negotiators. She leaned in slightly. You just didn't realize those were things predators could be. As Chen walked away, the Vrex ambassador understood the final, terrible truth. Humanity hadn't changed by joining the galactic community. They had simply found new prey. But now they hunted for treaties instead of meat, for alliances instead of territory, for influence instead of survival. The galaxy had welcomed Earth with open arms, never realizing they were inviting an apex predator to the dinner table. And humanity, polite as always, had smiled and said thank you before taking their seat at the head.